As the storm raged, the captain realized his ship was sinking fast. He called out. He said, "Anyone here know how to pray?" One man stepped forward and said, "Aye, Captain, I know how to pray." "Good," said the captain. "You pray while the rest of us put on our life jackets. We're one short." Why most prayers are not answered. According to the Spiritual Research Center, the average person is only at the 20% spiritual level, and 80% of the problems we experience in life are because of lack of spiritual growth and faith. Many people of faith are praying, but they aren't getting their prayers answered. They are praying for jobs, money, health, relationships, healing, peace, miracles, cars, houses, promotions, safety. Why doesn't God answer most of these prayers? Does he not hear their prayers? Most prayers seem to fall upon deaf ears as if God doesn't hear them or is ignoring their cry. The fact of the matter is that God heard you before you asked. When your prayers aren't answered, you aren't praying right, you aren't focusing, you're not ready or vibrating high enough, or it's God's will that you go through whatever you're going through. There may be some lessons that you need to learn. Therefore, your prayers may not get answered in this lifetime. Sometimes it seems as if God is saying no by not answering. But in reality, we are out of tune with God and the answer to the prayer. The fact of the matter is that some prayers are going to get answered and some prayers aren't. Some of the prayers that don't get answered could get answered, but the person doesn't have the necessary understanding, faith, and focus to cause them to be answered. Some prayers may get answered quickly. There may be nothing required for you to do but ask and believe. Some prayers may take a little longer. You may have to be patient. Some prayers may take many, many years because there's a whole lot of learning and growing that you have to do before the prayer is answered. You could quite possibly be praying for blessings that you're not ready to receive yet. For example, a wise parent would not grant the request of a teenage child who asked for his inheritance of $1 million. However, when the child is more mature and ready, the parent might grant such a request, but not before. The bottom line is that the closer your relationship with God, or the more faith you have, the better the chances are that your prayers will be answered. Many people have this misconception of what is meant by a relationship with God. They look at the relationship from a human perception as if God were a man. However, the true spiritual meaning is growing or elevating an understanding of the root causes of emotions and the things in your life. This means understanding the interaction of the mind, body, spirit, and soul, or subconscious mind. In other words, understanding how your perception or reality or thoughts and words are manifested in your body and life, and how you can change them and change your life. Therefore, you can cause your prayers to be answered if you believe in your power. Raise your vibration, in other words, spiritual understanding, and practice focusing your energy on what you are praying for as if it has been answered. And, oh, by the way, conscious manifesting is another way of saying getting your prayers answered. In life, there are two perceptions of reality to consider: a literal perception and a spiritual perception. When you have only a literal perception of reality, you aren't seeing the big picture. You haven't gathered all the information. You You are walking by sight, but not by faith. You're making choices and decisions in life without having all the facts. You're basing your life on only half of the big picture without seeing the other half. You are not being guided by divine spirit. Imagine sitting on the ground looking out of an airplane before it begins to take off. When the plane is on the ground, your perception is limited. You can only see a few people, buildings, and perhaps other planes. But as the plane begins to soar in the sky, and you begin to see more and more planes and buildings and roads that you never even knew existed. As the plane reaches 30,000 feet, you can even see a bigger picture. The area didn't change, nothing changed, but your altitude and view. You saw a better view of what the area looked like. We have all been taught, programmed, and conditioned to look at life from the ground level, a narrow, shallow, and limited viewpoint. This shallow perception of reality and lack of knowledge is causing you to think and believe in a way that causes you to make choices and decisions that doesn't cause your life to be truly happy, healthy, and fulfilling. In other words, it's causing you not to reach your fullest God-given potential in each and every area of your life. It is possibly causing your health to be less than perfect and your lifespan to be shortened. It is possibly causing your peace and happiness to be limited and less than fulfilling. It is possibly causing your income to be inadequate or less than you would like it to be. It is possibly causing you to be in a job or career that isn't your calling or niche, that you don't have passion for and can't put your heart and soul into. It is possibly causing the amount of free time that you have to be limited and less than you would like it to be. It is possibly causing your marriage or relationship to be less than the best and without bliss. It is possibly causing your parenting skills to be lacking and raising your kids to be challenging and stressful. And it is possibly causing your life to be unbalanced and not easy and relaxed the way God intended for you. The person who looks at life from a literal perception doesn't know that he or she is partially blind. They think that life is what you see, not realizing that there is more to life than meets the eye. They think that what they're seeing in life is all there is to life. They live their lives from the ground level, not realizing that there is a bigger picture or a whole other side to be considered. However, when you free your mind from all the assumptions, opinions, and erroneous thoughts and beliefs that have been programmed into you and are holding you down, you rise to a higher level and get a clear and different view of reality. Your elevated view of the bigger picture gives you a better understanding of life. Your reality of life is no longer solely based on your five senses. You realize spiritual things that you didn't realize when you were bogged down. You realize that behind the scenes, God or energy or spirit is in control, and there is more to life than meets the literal eye and ear. You live your life from the inside out. You spiritually understand things that others don't understand. You spiritually see things that others can't see, and you spiritually hear revelations and wisdom from God that others can't hear. These spiritual revelations and visions guide you to make choices and decisions that bless you abundantly in each area of your life. Is your faith full of fear. Financial freedom, happiness, good health, longevity, healing, love, security, and peace of mind are blessings that most desire. It is not outside the realm of possibility for God to grant you all these blessings if you have the faith that is required to cause them to manifest in your life. Jesus told the disciples, he said, "Truly I tell you, if you have the faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible for you." The Bible also tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. However, intuition tells me that a dream or a vision is the substance of things hoped for and requires faith to become reality. Therefore, a better definition is in the NIV Bible, and it states, faith is being sure of things hoped for and certain of things unseen. Everyone possesses limitless faith potential. It is a gift from God or the universe. It is given to each and every human being for the purpose of connecting with the higher power and intelligence, for assisting in preventing and overcoming life challenges that are beyond human intellect resolution. Most importantly, it is given for getting our prayers answered. However, the vast majority of humanity has a limited understanding of faith. Therefore, it is their misunderstanding that blocks or minimizes the effectiveness of it for getting their prayers answered. Basically, there are two types of faith. One is worldly, and the second is spiritual. Worldly faith is also known as form-based faith and is based on belief of trusting in the visible, whereas spiritual faith is based on knowing and trusting in God, the invisible divine spirit or energy. It is easier to have form-based worldly faith because we have been programmed by society in the limited capacity that seeing is believing. However, it takes a higher degree of spiritual understanding to have faith in God, which is that divine spirit or energy which is invisible. This can be very confusing to the mind of someone who is still living life based solely upon the five senses: visible, physical, material, limited perception of reality, or in the third dimension. For example, it is easy to have faith when riding across a bridge because you see other cars go across it and you see the structure intact. However, when it comes to trusting in that which you cannot see to deliver you from danger or a life-threatening illness, this is an entirely different kind of faith when you have nothing physical or material to rely on. It is humanly natural to have fear in trusting that which you cannot see. Therefore, you have to learn to trust by becoming spiritually educated. As your spiritual understanding increases, so will your spiritual faith. Therefore, spiritual faith is formless faith in spirit or God, that absolute trust without doubt or fear will cause the spirit to manifest what you request as the result of prayer and meditation. Spiritual faith is the key and most misunderstood resource in life. It is your most valuable and powerful possession. It is your superpower. It is more valuable than a college degree, wealth, jewelry, diamonds, pearls, oil, or any other resource in the world. It is an inner knowing that connects you directly to God for wisdom and divine power for solutions to problems and answers to prayers. It is divine trust that comes as a result of knowing the spiritual truth and freeing your mind and soul of worldly thoughts and beliefs or ego about God, self, life, and truth. This truth causes spiritual growth, development, and maturity, which in turn leads to wisdom, authentic power, protection, and the truly happy, abundantly blessed, and fulfilling life that God has willed to you. Spiritual faith is an enhanced mindset that lacks fear. It is complete knowing or trust in the ability of the Spirit of God that you cannot see to magically or miraculously do something that you can see. It is a knowing that something in the physical world can be corrected, changed, or fixed by your prayer request to the Spirit of God or the universe. It is pure energy or spirit vibration. When vibrating at a high frequency, it causes your mind to resonate or unite with spirit mind and receive divine wisdom, insight, intuition, and healing. However, when vibrating at a lower frequency, it turns into fear, which causes one to be out of tune with God, resulting in many prayers going unanswered. It is formless or spiritual faith that is going to cause your prayers to be answered, whereas form-based, literal faith is going to prevent them from manifesting into reality. Spiritual faith is the key to calling forth the cure to the things that physically man cannot cure, and the possible to what man says is impossible. It is the elixir for miracles. It connects you directly to God with wisdom and divine power to overcome the challenges and answer questions that are beyond human intellect resolution. Most people believe they have spiritual faith, and they are correct. However, often it is blocked by a lack of spiritual understanding, which advocates fear and, in turn, causes disempowerment, weakness, and ineffectiveness. Spiritual faith is a supernatural mindset that lacks fear, doubt, worry, and negativity. It induces a feeling of supreme confidence from the heart that your prayers have already been answered. It is pure energy or spirit vibration which elevates the mind into higher dimensions of understanding of the workings of God beyond this world. It is the mindset of divine trust that comes as a result of knowing the spiritual truth and freeing your mind and soul of form-based thoughts and beliefs about self, God, and life. When the misunderstanding is removed, it bridges the gap between you and God so you can receive intuition, revelation, and guidance directly from the divine source or the universe. This trust or certainty causes spiritual growth, development, and higher consciousness. This atonement or connection to higher intelligence leads the gifts of the Spirit, such as clarity, genius, creativity, authentic power, protection, and the truly happy, abundantly blessed, and fulfilling life that God has willed to you. However, when one has little faith, their mind is vibrating at a lower frequency or spiritual level of understanding, which closes down the channel to God for guidance. This causes loss of power and control over life's challenges, leading to one not knowing their purpose, stress, illness, not totally happy, unbalanced, emptiness, boredom, hopelessness, and many prayers going unanswered, which lead to an unfulfilled life. It is spiritual faith that Jesus was referring to when he said, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do." In truth, exactly how spiritual is your faith? In other words, what is your faith level? On a scale of 1 through 12, what is your academic level of achievement? Now, on a scale of 1 through 12, what would you guess is your spiritual level of understanding, consciousness, or faith? We are all aware of the academic system and how it is structured with tests and grades to determine one's progression and intellectual level of achievement. The level you achieve determines your degree of academic success. Often, this is relative to determining the job that you qualify for and the amount of money you will be paid for your knowledge. However, this has nothing to do with your mind's perception of your spiritual consciousness or faith. From a holistic perspective, there are two sides to education. There is the academic or intellectual side of learning associated with the brain, and there is the less popular and non-mainstream spiritual side of learning associated with the mind. Even though the world does not acknowledge it, spiritual education is the most valuable knowledge in the world, but it is not of the world. This is the reason that Jesus said, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added to you." On the spiritual side, there are also levels or grades that determine your spiritual consciousness or understanding of spirit and truth. Just like on the intellectual side, there are levels of progression. Another way of wording this is that there are levels of awareness or faith. The more you remove the blockage or programming and conditioning of the world, the higher you advance in your spiritual consciousness of levels of spiritual awareness or faith. Believe it or not, the level that you are at determines whether your life is full, mediocre, or lacking peace, joy, happiness, and holistic success. When your faith is at a lower level, you more than often experience emotions like stress, worry, fear, lack, limitation, and many life challenges. People who are not thriving at all are at the lowest level. At the lower levels are grades. For example, 1 through 6, our elementary faith levels, we block most of the wisdom and power of the universe. Therefore, pain, stress, limitations, fear, anger, blame, and doubt occupy our lives. But as we progress to the higher levels, for example, 7 through 12, love, joy, peace, and abundance are gradually more easily attainable. The pain, stress, and struggle no longer challenges you, and you live the life you totally desire with grace and ease. The good thing about life and where you are on your spiritual consciousness level is if you don't like it, you can change it. You can always increase your faith or energy vibrations. This will put you in a different mindset or place where the worry, fear, and lack of happiness minimize and eventually cease to exist. The further you grow to the higher levels, the less you experience the challenges of the lower vibration levels. If you want to experience more joy, freedom, better health, harmonious relationships, and prosperity, the key is to raise or increase your spiritual consciousness, energy vibrations, or faith levels of awareness. Therefore, be honest with yourself and ask, what is my faith level at this very moment? And if you're not totally happy with your life, you can begin the process of increasing your faith right now. Now, would you like to get more of your prayers answered? Okay, in order for your prayers to be effective, it must become a daily habit and a regular part of your life, like medicine is to sickness. Prayer is your spiritual medicine. It helps to keep you well. Prayer must be done morning, noon, and night, always giving gratitude or thanking God for what you are praying for as if you have already received it. Pray that you become a better person. Pray for self, personal, and spiritual growth, development, and improvement. For this is the key to life. Pray that God shows you all of your flaws, ignorance, and imperfections that are stunning your growth, blocking, and limiting your blessings, and keeping you from understanding and reaching your full potential. Pray for help to grow, improve, and overcome these barriers. Pray for knowledge, wisdom, faith, and understanding of God, self, and life. When you put your focus, energy, and prayers on growing and developing spiritually, you begin to gain more faith, wisdom, and power. Then you become wise enough and strong enough to remove the blockage and become like a positive magnet, attracting all the things that your heart desires in life. Therefore, pray that God will help you remove all the blockages from your heart and soul. Don't pray for material things. Pray for heavenly wisdom, for wisdom is the foundation of the material things that you want. When you pray, you need only ask once. Do not keep asking God repeatedly. He heard you the first time. Trust that God is going to give you what you ask for. Thank Him each and every day and night for His wisdom and power. Also thank Him for His grace, mercy, and forgiveness, blessings, love, and protection, and the things that accompany wisdom, such as happiness, peace, joy, self-control, good health, longevity, balance, prosperity, abundance, and fulfillment. Pray and think these thoughts unceasingly until the words get into your heart and soul and manifest in your body and life. Pray these prayers for others that they may grow in God's wisdom and power and be blessed abundantly. Pray that you become a light to the world so that others in the darkness may find their way. Some religions are caught up in long-winded babbling prayers. They are all well-meaning, but the fact of the matter is that they are ineffective. Praying a lot of requesting prayers is a waste of time. God knows your issues, problems, troubles, and needs, wants, and desires. He knew them before the creation of the world. Pray as if what you ask God for has already happened. Pray prayers of gratitude, thanking God for the blessings that you have in the present now and the blessings that you desire in the future now. The secret of getting your prayers answered. The Bible gives us some insight about the possibility of getting our prayers answered. When it says, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And it also says, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. First, realize that the world has a limited meaning of prayer. There is more to prayer than just asking for what you want. Oftentimes, there are other things that you must do to cause your prayers to be answered. As I mentioned earlier, another word for prayer is manifesting. There are 3 keys to getting your prayers answered. The first is intention and vision. The second is increased faith and focus. In other words, get in spirit and stay in spirit. And the third is always seek inner guidance before taking action. Intention and vision. Be specific as to what you are asking for. For example, if a woman is asking for a husband, she must be specific in asking what she wants in a husband, all the great attributes she wants, because the universe hears what she says, and the universe will actually send her a husband, but the husband probably won't be what she's asking for because she wasn't specific about it. The next one is visualization. Visualize that which you want as if it has been accomplished. Set your intentions on mastering the God state of consciousness necessary for getting your prayers answered. Begin with writing down and visualizing the end in mind. Visualize the benefits. Visualize your ideal life. Visualize yourself spiritually on how you would like to be spiritually. Visualize yourself calm, cool, collected, relaxed, and supremely confident. Visualize yourself mentally, how you would like to be mentally. The Bible gives us some insight when it says, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. That's having a mindset where no negativity gets into it. Visualize and feel yourself emotionally. Feel the high you want to feel always. Feel the jubilation. Feel the bliss. Visualize yourself physically. Physically, how you want to feel and how you want to be physically at the age you are now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, however long you want it to be. Visualize it. Visualize yourself financially. Whatever amount that you feel that you need, visualize yourself having that. If it's financial freedom, visualizing yourself with no financial worries, financially free, being able to do what you want to do and help others financially. Now visualize your relationships. Not only your relationship with your spouse, but relationship with your family. Visualize your relationship, the ideal relationship, on how it would look, how it would feel with your friends, the friends that you have. Visualize just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful relationships with beautiful people all around you. Now visualize your service to humanity. This is a big one. Visualize how you would serve. Ask the question, how can I serve? What problems would you like to solve in the world or be a part of solving? What are my gifts and talents that I have to give? Now, give gratitude and celebrate the life that you just dreamed and produce it as it is done. And so see it as done. And now just celebrate the victory. The second one is increase your faith and focus. And increasing your faith and focus has to do with the spiritual information around you, the spiritual environment, and spiritual association. But first, start off with spiritual transformative education. This is about knowing the spiritual truth and knowing thyself. It is understanding the spirit, mind, body, soul, and universe connection. You can get this education from myself, which is my Greg Tharp International, and also from the Conscious Clarity Energy Center, and also other sources throughout the world. You can get from books, audio, videos, workshops, seminars by enlightened souls here today and throughout history, such as Jesus, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Joseph Murphy, Eckhart Tolle, Deepak Chopra, and these are just to name a few, but there's many ways to get the spiritual education we need to increase our faith, to cause our blessings to manifest more easily. And the next one we do to increase our faith is meditation. And meditate 24/7 daily. Not in the traditional way of sitting, but that's okay to sit if you would like. But in the non-traditional way of being calm, being conscious of the God flow within, and confident that God is always working for you when you are in the zone or in the flow. The life flow is flowing within you, and the life force is blessing you when you are in it. And so, stay in a state of meditation or consciousness. The next thing you can do is to increase our faith and focus is inspirational music. It's like start your day waking up to inspirational music. It's like having your alarm set. When it comes on, the inspirational music comes on each morning for a boost to increase our vibration. And this will get your energy flowing as you settle back into the body after your astral travel. Another way we can do it with this affirmation. Affirm and proclaim your true identity and your victory all throughout the day and night as often as possible. Talk to yourself. Say positive things to yourself as if your prayers has been answered. For example, I am now healed. I am now abundant. I am now greatness. The next thing we can do to increase our faith and focus is non-judgment. Do not judge people or life. When things happen, detach from the judgment. See it as it is what it is. Then listen for the guidance to hear what actions you need to take, if any. And another thing that we can do to increase our faith and focus is nature walks and just enjoy nature, basking in the energy and the oneness of nature. And also, to increase our faith and focus, join us a support group, a spiritual support group of like-minded people who are joined to assist one another in fulfilling their purpose and living their dreams. Another thing we can do is find a good coach, because finding a good spiritual coach, finding a good coach is mandatory to making a quantum leap in your vibration. It is no different than great athletes or entertainers finding a good coach to improve their craft. And the next thing we can do to increase our faith and focus is a spiritual partner or soulmate, someone whose conversation and energy inspires you. The third thing we can do is always seek inner guidance before taking action. Means ask for guidance. Stay in a meditative state or positive state. Like I said, calm, conscious, and confident state of awareness for intuition, gut feeling, or outer signs. Be aware of your actions and question them before taking them. Ask yourself, does this feel comfortable or uncomfortable? What is my gut telling me? Practicing this conscious manifestation routine on a regular basis is what the Bible means when it says, pray unceasingly. Also, it is what is meant by saying when the prayers, meaning vibrational frequency or faith, goes up, the blessings come down. Finally, there's a saying, do not worry, because worry is praying for what you don't want. And also, there's a saying, when you pray, don't worry. And if you worry, don't pray. So, if you are worried, sit in stillness, focusing on your breath until your mind calms down or the worried thoughts cease. Then focus your mind on what you want rather than what you don't want. A middle-aged woman, she lived alone except for she had a pet, and it was a male parrot. The woman she was very proud of her parrot because it would sit in the bottom of his cage and cross his wings and pray. She had a unique parrot. She also was a devout churchgoer, and she would often brag to the congregation about her faithful parrot. So one day, the woman, she was boasting about her parrot's prayers, and an older gentleman was simply amazed by this. He said, I have a female parrot, and she's just terrible. He said, my son raised her, and all she does is curse. She must have got it from him. That she's the most foul-mouthed creature I've ever heard. And he said, maybe if we put my parrot with your parrot, he would teach mine how to pray and stop cursing so much. The woman readily agreed to this, and a few days later, the gentleman brought the parrot by. The woman's parrot it sat praying in the bottom of the cage as they placed the female inside with him. The parrot instantly stopped praying, hopped up, looked the female over, and shouted, hot damn, this is what I've been praying for.